Hey guys, just want to talk a little bit about a subject that's been circulating a lot lately, and it's the subject of being led by the Spirit, uh, whether or not the Bible alone is all you need, sola scriptura, just various things like that, debating Trinitarians. I just want to give my 2 cents on it. I want to start out by reading something that a cousin of mine said a while back. It is quite a while ago, but I think that there's a lot that you can gather out of this statement. First, let me say this: he's a musician, plays in a lot of different places, been playing music all his life. Okay, and he says something that I think is very profound. Okay, let me read it to you. It says, or he said, "You can't find music in music books. You may find music theory, music fundamentals, a music methodology, music notation, notes and scales, but you won't find any music. You can't find God in semantics, doctrine, and religion. You may find a methodology, practices, beliefs, stories of the divine, godly commandments, rules, and regulations, but you won't find God. God, like love and music, can only be experienced rather than defined. And thank God no one can, because someone would copyright it, trademark it, and sell it. The humility of that leaves me speechless every time." And just listening to that statement, first notice that there is a lot of truth in what he said. So let's get that out of the way first. And I completely agree with him. But notice that you didn't find that in the Bible. So consider that is all truth directly and only between the pages of the Bible? And the answer is no. The Bible is a starting point, but it's not God. And a lot of the guys have been saying that, and I completely agree with them. For me, the only reason I wanted to come to YouTube was just to proclaim the true God and proclaim the true Messiah and the true gospel. And believing that Jesus is God robs you of the true gospel. And so for me, I couldn't understand things like what my cousin said and things like that because I was too busy believing Jesus was God. And the only person who was ever perfect was actually God. And it robbed me of so much truth. It robbed me of what I should have been seeing all along. I have learned so many things about God that are in the Bible and outside of the Bible simply because I realized what the greatest commandment was all about. That God is one. And once you understand that, and you understand that man can achieve, all right, and can strive for what God is asking you to do and what God is asking you to be. And not only do you want to do that to please him, but just simply because you know it's the right thing to do. You do right because it is right. You live for God because it's just the right and good thing to do. And that's what it's all about. But I couldn't address any of my sin whenever I thought Jesus was God. And that's why I came to YouTube, just to try to be a light and try to help proclaim that, because I know what the Trinity did to me. And if it's doing that to anybody else out there, I just want to try to help in stopping it. I know it's not my job. I'm not the Holy Spirit. And so I can't do that for people. But all I can do is just try to be a light and try to assist and try to help people be led by the Spirit and lead them to the truth of the fact that God is one and the Messiah was a man and he accomplished everything he did as a man. And God placed a man over all his creation. That's what God thinks of man. I mean, so you have to experience God in your everyday personal life. You have to just have that relationship with him. If you notice, when I'm on YouTube, I don't talk about whether or not you should be baptized, whether or not you should keep certain, commandments. Just there's so many things in the Bible, you could talk about, a lot of subjects I could go into. But for what? Because if you understand the true God, everything else will take care of itself. If you're a person who has a disposition where you are truly looking for truth, not to defend the doctrine, but just looking for truth, to me, that person, once they realize that Jesus isn't God, everything else will take care of itself. I've seen it in family members of mine. I have family members that were once Trinitarians that we sat down, we went over this for months and months, and then finally once we realized that Jesus wasn't God, it changed us. And so if that change can be affected at anyone else, and I can do anything to help that, I just want to do it. But in the end, it's the Spirit. All I can do is point people to the right Jesus. That's it. And so that's all I'm trying to do on here. And the thing that my cousin said, he's right. You can't experience God in a book. I think in my second video I ever made, if I remember right, I said something like, I hardly believe that the Bible is everything there is to know about God, because I don't think it is. So, all I can say is just, I'm just trying to add my 2 cents in what I think about the whole thing. And I think a lot of what the guys are saying out there is true. But, Jesus said, by this you come to know him if you have love in your heart. And so, what is the new covenant anyway? I mean, it says that the laws will be written on their hearts, and they shall be his people, and no one should have to teach you know God, for they all will know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them. I mean, it's talking about being led by the Spirit right there. Paul said, how did he put it? Those who do not have the written law, but their conscience bears witness to them, and they do by nature the things that the law requires. All right, they become a law to themselves. Think about that. Like, their conscience bears witness to them, because, and it says that the laws are, also Paul said the laws are written on their heart. It's not written in the Bible. It's written on their heart. And so allow yourself to be led by the Spirit. Allow yourself to just experience God every day and everything, because God is in everything you do. He's in it. He's a part of it. Let him in. And so that's all I want to say in this video. And I just want to add, like I said, I just want to add my thoughts on it. I'm not here on YouTube to try to, defend a doctrine per se. It's more of just trying to, because I just know what it did for me. And in fact, you make that happen and help to have that happen for anybody else, that'd be great. But I also know that in the end, it's the Spirit. Flesh is weak, but the Spirit is willing. So I hope everybody understands what I'm saying. I'm kind of talking off the sleeve here. I don't have any notes. I just want to just give my thoughts on it. Peace to everybody. Love you all.